Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to discuss something which is very important to me because it's relating to integrity, and I don't like my integrity being thrown under the bus, right? I don't like it being called into question, right? Okay. Now, I'm not calling out this person and throwing hate towards them or anything like that at all. I put things out there on the internet full in the knowledge that some people might not like it, right? Even people who have previously supported me might not like it, and it may make them not want to watch me anymore. I know that, but it's still important to me to put out the truth and be very transparent about things that go on and about how I operate, right? So even if it puts me in a bad light, I will put it out there just so you know, right? And so the other day I put out the video, the video of Chris attacking me in my DMs, right? Um, and I also asked people to comment if they were ex IFAM, just to as an experiment to see how many people I've managed to turn against seeing them. But you know what I mean, just sway their opinion, or maybe things like that. Anyway, so I got a few of those, and I'll come to those in a minute. But this one particular comment stood out, and I'd like to go through it and just tell you what I think, basically. So she says, I am ex-IFAM, but I stopped watching them due to my own judgment way before my teenage son introduced me to you. I have, however, been watching you now for a while, but I will not be any further. You and Chris Ingham are every bit as bad as each other. You are both using his kids for financial gain. Neither of you are concerned for their welfare or the difference between right and wrong. You're completely and utterly obsessed with each other. And quite frankly, it's boring now. Good luck with the childish war going on between you two. But I, for one, see no difference between the two of you and will not be watching either of you anymore. I'm sure it's no loss to either of you, but you should be ashamed of your behaviour. Okay, so a couple of things that stood out in that little comment. Firstly, I don't see myself as bad as Chris, irrespective of what you may or may not think of me, or anybody thinks of me. I don't think I'm as bad as Chris in any way, shape or form, right? I can see the perspective where she says that I use his kids for financial gain. I don't believe that I do. Yes, I do include them, but I try my best to blur them out, right? Sometimes bits get beyond me, and at the end of the day, I'm not the one that's put them on the internet, and I can't be held responsible for where their images end up, right? I won't be held responsible for that because I'm not the one that's filmed them, period, right? It's a good life lesson, if you put your kids out on the internet, they're probably going to end up in the wrong hands. And I don't mean my hands, by the way. I don't see it as a childish war, right? I see it as a battle to get him away, to hold him to account for his actions. He hasn't been held to account for his actions yet, and I'm not sure if some people don't realise that, but he hasn't been. Yes, he's lost a lot, he has, but he hasn't lost enough, in my opinion. Some of the things that he's done is reprehensible, right? Some of the things that he's tried to do with those kids, those girls, is reprehensible. It's awful, and I won't, I don't mind saying that I don't support that sort of behaviour. And finally, I'm not quite sure what my behaviour is that's been called into question, basically. But the thread continued. There was more to it. So somebody replied to this one and defended me and said, Dougal doesn't do it for financial gain though, he's raising awareness and he gives you a choice to donate if the video isn't a paid one. Dougal is putting the truth out there and Chris is a pervert. That pretty much sums it up, really. But the original poster did reply to that. And she said, I'm well aware of who the pervert is, but Dougal openly admits he is making money out of this as it's his job now, which is fair enough. But to be able to take the moral high ground, you have to be beyond reproach, which unfortunately neither Chris nor Dougal are anymore. So this is the bit that gets me a little bit. I don't think that I'm beyond reproach. I don't think any of us are. I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect, okay, but on this I'm right. Chris is a waste of space. His useless wife is a waste of space. I talk about Chris and Sarah in derogatory manners and stuff like that because that's the way that I want to talk about them, right? I don't think they deserve anything better. They do exploit the kids. They use the kids to draw in the wrong sort of crowd. I do not do that. I do believe that I can take the moral high ground on this one. I just can, because I don't exploit my kids online. I don't. I bet none of you can guess whether or not I actually have kids or not, because I've never ever spoken about that online publicly. But as for it being my job, yes, of course it's my job, right? But it can be both, right? It can be both. I think that's the problem some people can't figure out. If it's a job, you're not raising awareness because you're doing it for the money. If you're raising awareness, then you can't make money out of it, right? But it can be both. I need to pay my bills, right? I do. If I can't do that, then I can't raise awareness. But at the same time, what I like to do is I like to make a bit of a joke and a bit of fun, just to take the piss out of Chris and Sarah, because that's all they deserve in life, right? And at the same time, I am creating awareness, right? And we will get to that in a second, right? That's very important. But this is kind of bringing it into question my integrity, which I don't really like too much, but I'm trying to explain my point as best as possible. But she did reply one more time. She says, and Dougal is now only putting his version of the truth out there as he is being blackmailed. If he wasn't, then we would all be none the wiser. So basically saying that because Chris was saying that he was going to put my information out there, that is the only reason why I'm telling people the truth, right? Now, whilst there could be an element of truth to that, that's not actually true. I'm not putting it out there because I'm being blackmailed. That's far from the case. Chris is not going to put any information out there. He's not going to expose me for anything, right? He's also not going to go to the police with anything, because if he had anything to go to the police with, he would have already gone to the police, right? So he's not going to do that. I'm not afraid that he's going to make an expose video on me. He's not going to do that. So I'm just putting it out there what Chris is doing in the background, right? That is the reason I'm doing it. And as a part of that, just to be completely transparent, I had to respond to every single point that he was making, right? Yes, there's some things that go on in the background that I don't tell people about, because why would I do? No, it's not everything is everybody's business. But like, for example, the amount of times that I have actually got like what other people would class as death threats, being told to go kill yourself and shit like that, right? And all the hate that you get in this, I don't put all that out there. I don't say a lot of things that do go on, because it's not really relevant, to be honest. but I get on with it, and I don't complain about it. And if I get hard up for a video, then I've always got like video content in my DMs. To be fair, but yeah, so I don't feel like I put it out there because I was being blackmailed. I don't think that is the case. I don't think that I'm hiding things and I will only tell the truth because I'm being blackmailed. That's not even close to the truth, and that does throw into question my integrity, which I'm not keen on, because to be honest with you, I will tell anybody anything that they want to know. Absolutely anything that you want to know, ask me and I'll tell you the truth. I will never ever lie just to keep my public image, right? I won't lie just to get myself away with anything. If you want to know something, just ask and I'll tell you. It's as simple as that. I don't mind having a bad public image if it means that I'm being honest and that I'm being transparent. And people can choose then whether or not they want to watch me, and this person obviously has chosen not to, which is fine. I'm not complaining. It's not like I'm not responding to this person because I'm angry that they're not going to watch me again. I was going to talk about this anyway because, like, you know, integrity and public opinion is quite important to me. But I would rather be honest than be a liar and be deceitful. So now people can choose whether or not they do want to watch me or not based on facts that they have, right? Now, I asked people to comment if they were ex-IFAM just to gauge whether or not like I'd made a difference, which I already know that I have, right? Because I've seen many times over the years people saying, oh, I used to watch the Inghams, but I came across your videos and now I don't watch them anymore. So I collated a bunch of comments. We're going to go through them right now. So the first one says, I'm ex-IFAM. I had no idea what Chris had been up to until one of your videos came up. When I typed in their name into YouTube, at first I didn't believe it, but the undeniable evidence soon convinced me otherwise. I am an ex-IFAM. Thankfully it's down to you, and also their behaviour is disgusting and couldn't take watching them anymore, and I unsubscribed. I'm an ex-IFAM. They're quite pathetic, endangering their children for money. I wouldn't class myself as an ex-IFAM, but I watched them. My daughter firstly pointed out the Chris and Sarah were wrong-uns, and then I came across your channel, and the rest is, as they say, history. I can't believe that I initially thought that Chris and Sarah were heaven-sent parents. Talk about having blinkers on. We need people like you to remove these blinkers, Dougal, so please keep up the good work. I found the Minghams watching Dougal. I only watched to see what he was on about. Dear me, I got drawn in. What the heck is happening with these kids? It's frightening, and the threats you have had are cause for concern. I am ex-IFAM. I'm sorry to say, I always felt sorry for the kids, but Chris is another level. A total narcissist and manipulator. Another ex-IFAM here. Ex-IFAM. They saw the papers on it. I'm ex-IFAM now. I can't do with them anymore now. They talk is crap. Ex-IFAM. Another one there. I would not call myself an IFAM, but I did used to watch their videos from time to time. Ex-IFAM watcher, your videos are far more entertaining. Thank you very much. Ex-IFAM. Yes, used to be ex-IFAM, used to be IFAM. Sorry, ex-IFAM was hooked on them. I'm ex-IFAM who stopped watching them when he got caught creeping. I'm an ex-Ingham watcher. And all those comments were just from that one video. Those are just people who commented that they were ex-IFAM. I know there are more than that. I know there are. So it's just a good example of the change that has been affected just by watching my videos. You know, so you can say that I'm in it for the money, or I'm this, or I'm that, but at the end of the day, I do raise awareness about the situations that I talk about. Yes, I talk to Chris and Sarah in a derogatory manner, and I won't stop doing that because that's my way of talking to them, right? I think that they need a little condescension, right? Because they are prize one brats, right? Do believe that. They exploit their kids for money. Their kids work every day for money. They wouldn't have Dubai if it wasn't for their kids. They wouldn't have pool days if it wasn't for their kids. They wouldn't have dinners out if it wasn't for their kids. They wouldn't have food on the table if it wasn't for their kids. They wouldn't afford to go to shows if it wasn't for the kids. They wouldn't afford to go to B&M Bargain, Sarah, if it wasn't for the kids. Every single last aspect of their life is because of their children. End of story. Now you can say that I do the same. I don't believe that I do, right? Yes, there's an element of I include their children in the videos. Maybe I should just cut them out, right? Maybe I should just cut the kids out completely. And there's an argument there, so I take on board your opinions on this, right? But the long and short of it is that I want to talk about the Inghams, and I want to talk about other families who do similar things, and I will continue to do that. I won't stop. And yes, I do make money out of it, right? Because it's my job. But at the same time, I raise awareness, and it can be both. There is not a one size fits all here. Like, it can be both things. So anyway, yeah, that's just my points that I wanted to get across. There was no hate intended towards the person that I mentioned in this video. I wasn't directing any negativity to them at all. They have the right to not watch me, right? And I know by putting information out there about what I do and what I get up to and my views and everything like that, I'm opening myself up to people not wanting to watch me for whatever reason, right? But I won't stop being honest in case people don't want to watch, right? I'm very grateful that people do watch in the amount of people that do actually watch me, right? Trust me, 1,000, 2,000 people, that is a hell of a lot of people, right? That's not a small amount of people. If people say, oh, you only get 1,000 views, well, that's 1,000 more people than I know in real life. So yeah, it's a huge amount of people. I'm surprised anybody actually watches me at all. So I will continue to talk and talk and talk. Hopefully something coherent comes out of my mouth, right? And hopefully people want to watch whatever it is that I have to say. If you don't want to watch me, I can't force the situation, and it's not a case of, well, if you don't like, don't watch. I'd rather you watched, to be honest, but I will continue to see. I'm just talking right now, aren't I? I'm talking about nothing, and I'm hoping that at some point something coherent comes out of my mouth. That's what I do. I'm quite like Sarah Ingham in that respect. She just talks, and hopefully something, some sense comes out of her mouth eventually. I'm kind of like that. I'm not a very confident speaker, so I will keep sort of talking, and maybe something good will happen eventually. You never know. Stranger things have happened, haven't they? Anyway, I'm just gonna go now. It's a nice day, so might go and stand at my front door again. Maybe look out the window. Right, that might work. Anyway, until next time, please have a lovely day. Give this video a thumbs up if you've taken anything from it. Comment all of your thoughts about it down below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Until next time, have a brilliant day, take care, and bye bye.